Hello, fans and listeners. Last time I checked, 60% of you are actually not subscribed to this channel and you watch it very regularly. So for those of you who are not subscribed, please do the very simple task of subscribing. It costs you nothing. And the thing I will promise to you is that the bigger this channel gets, the bigger the guests we can get on this channel. So hit subscribe and let's make this podcast as big as possible.
What an insult to me as an early guest. What the fuck is like? Listen, I'm trying to get better at. If any of you could please subscribe, I'm begging you. I'm fucking begging you. The trash that I'm getting on this podcast, multi-award-winning comedian Tadiwe Mahlunge, is not good enough for single award-winning, student award-winning Riki Musunda. All right. Cool.
I love that.
Fuck
I love
me.
that. Multi-award winning. The awards in this room.
Shit.
The awards in this room. To be fair, you have the lion's share of the awards in this room.
Nah, my awards ain't shit either. Fucking rising star.
Yeah, that's all you need, though. That's all you need. Hey, I got Skittles 2024 Best Comedians or something.
That's going to push ticket sales.
Push ticket sales at the new mic night in Brighton.
Yeah.
No, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Do you know what really impresses me about you?
What?
How you were able to be late to your own podcast.
Yes.
This is why we don't make it in this industry. Black people
Black
are
timing.
held behind.
Honestly, the thing about black timing is it's so weird because it's like, it's something that you think sounds like a racial stereotype, but it's just so true.
It's not.
It's true. It is true.
You make gigs.
Yeah, but even comedy gigs run on black timing somehow. There has never been a comedy gig in the history of Earth that has started on time.
Comedy store.
Fair. I mean, but they're fucking militant.
Yeah.
At the comedy store.
Vauxhall, apparently.
Yeah, the Vauxhall's good. Top secret, get fucked. They
Yeah.
will literally start whenever they want.
Yeah,
basically.
they're out of control.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you so much for coming down.
No,
The amount of
it's fine.
time we've been trying to get this podcast to happen.
Yeah, no. It's I've been available.
You haven't.
You
no,
fucked off
haven't.
out of the country.
You haven't been available.
I've been available.
You are one
I've
of the.
given you a list of dates.
You are one of the busiest motherfuckers I've ever met.
People think I'm very busy. I'm around. When I was single, I used to go. I used to date 2 to 3 girls at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you make the time for that?
You put the date before the gig.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, man.
Do, wait,
I'm around. It's
do
all
you
about
invite-
time management.
do you invite dates to your gigs?
I was listen. There's a whole procedure.
Okay, please
First
enlighten
date,
me.
First date. Well, as a man who's in a relationship now, you
but
need to live vicariously through my past. My dark and storied fucking past.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the first date was always hey, let's go have a drink, and I wouldn't drink because I had to go on sober,
Yeah.
and it was okay. We'll scope out 1 hour, see if there's vibes. If there's no vibes, but it's fine. There's 2 adults going different ways. Second date, would be when you dedicate an entire evening to see what happens. Yeah,
I see. And you're in a relationship now.
yeah.
Did you meet your current person with this tactic?
Yeah. It was
Really?
always Hinge, and Hinge was immaculate.
Immaculate.
Yeah, because once I started doing better gigs and taking photos, you might know this person. That's how it works. Because I'm not handsome enough to get there on pure attractiveness.
Oh, you're a good-looking guy.
I'm good looking, but I'm not good looking enough to be algorithmically for it to matter at all.
Nah, I'll tell
I'm
you.
not in the 89th percentile.
No, you're not.
And that's what women. Have you seen girls use dating apps? Is no. Okay.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And then no. It's so you gotta stand out.
Honestly,
Yeah,
the thing is, I'm so glad because I've been in a relationship for 6 years, so I've never even seen Hinge
6?
until today.
6.
I'm 25, my man. 6 years.
6 years.
Since I was 19.
You haven't
years
seen
of
Hinge
age.
till today, but your girlfriend has this podcast. I haven't seen Hinge until I downloaded it on the way home, steaming. Do you know what he told me? He said he was what were you doing? Striking today, drunk. This fucking late alcoholic Negro at the pub. Striking on my tax money that I evade.
A late alcoholic. You're just giving white supremacists power.
No, you are. You are with your behavior. Don't put that on me.
A late alcoholic. Negro. Fucking Jim Crow poster in the making. But anyway, as I was saying, the Hinge, the first time I saw Hinge was today.
Yeah.
And it was my friend who is a very conventionally attractive, blonde, skinny girl. And the likes are crazy.
Yeah,
she literally had 100 people on her roster that she could pick from. So when you know that, it's kind of like, what's the point?
Well, that's what most people get.
Oh, fair. Is that what most people get?
Unless, because I've had Hinge at multiple levels of attractiveness. I've had ugly people Hinge, and it was tough.
Wait, what happened to you to go through the levels?
I was fat as fuck.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
At what age?
Right up until the pandemic. Pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Why?
Because I was working from home, which would not have been allowed. I was working in finance for that area.
Yeah.
So there was no work from home culture. So it was everyone work from home now. And since the pandemic, everyone working. I mean, if you put in a job application for software engineers, you must be in the office. You will get terrible engineers.
Really?
Because all the good ones will be able to negotiate working from home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That
makes sense.
So that was awesome. And then I was in the house all day. So there was no reason for there was no reason for calories.
Yeah.
There was no purpose to them.
There's no purpose to calories.
Yeah, it was what I need the energy for.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So I would just starve myself all day and work. And then after work, I'd go for a run.
Yeah.
And I hadn't, I'd not eaten a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'd get high and play video games. It was fucking unbelievable. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time.
That is incredible. Like a supermodel diet.
Without the cocaine, because you couldn't go out and get it.
You get it.
There was no Deliveroo cocaine, unfortunately, in the pandemic.
No, man, no, I get that definitely. For me, lockdown, it was very intense exercise-wise because that's all you could do.
That's all you could do.
That's literally the only sociable thing you could do. So you went into lockdown fat and you came out skinny.
I lost 15 kilo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even. I mean, that's a lot, but it's not a lot. You weren't fucking fat.
There's threshold levels,
Yeah.
I was
BMI.
Yeah. The threshold level I was at was just enough to be. You are unattractive to every attractive woman. Yeah.
So
I lost it enough to get attractive women.
So that's actually interesting. So did you notice again?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the difference?
My girlfriend's had the same thing when she lost her weight.
How much did you lose?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I mean, that's a bad question to
yeah, it's
ask.
an awful question to ask. Crazy question to ask.
How much weight did you lose?
I mean, visually I can see. It was the correct amount. But quite frankly, it could lose more.
Could lose more, but why would you
she's
do
in
that?
unbelievable shape now.
Oh, great.
It's actually really annoying because she's not a comic or anything.
No.
So
She's a
gym
normie.
is her hobby.
Really?
She does 3 times a week. And so I have to weekly go on massive runs to keep anywhere near her level of attractiveness.
That's mad.
It's very annoying.
What do you think about that? Because it's I feel like with men and women,
Yeah.
attractiveness differential. I feel like you more commonly see an ugly man with a good-looking woman.
Yeah. It really disgusts me. I understand it's self-esteem issues on these girls' parts. I fully get that.
Yeah.
But I think the NHS, there should be hot girl therapy where every hot woman is given enough therapy to dependably only date as attractive men or more. Because the number of hot girls I see with ugly guys, and she's he's just so nice. Being nice should not be enough. Everyone's nice.
Everyone's nice.
Everyone should treat you well.
Yeah, that's a baseline request.
You should be treated well by all men.
Yeah.
But the guy should be hot too. I don't know. It just disgusts me that unattractive men get good looking. It's disgusting to me.
Do you think being a comedian, do you think it's an attractive thing to women?
I think having a sense of humor is.
Okay.
But being a comic is not. I don't think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think guys who are funny and naturally funny and girls. And that's a stupid thing to say because girls is such a broad. That's like saying black people.
Black people love, but it's actually worse than black people because it's half the population.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah,
but it's different for everyone. But I think my girlfriend was super into comedy as a kid.
Yeah,
and
mine too.
Being a comic is awesome for her because she's on the ins and outs and she seeing the work. She likes the intricacies of seeing shit change and stuff like this. But like lots of girls I've dated have not given a fuck that I was a comic. What they were attracted to more was the proximity to fame.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, because how long have you been doing stand-up?
Since I was for 6 years, like properly.
6 years properly. And how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26?
Yeah.
We're almost the same age.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
So you've been going about 2 years longer than me, but you're a year older than me. Basically.
Yeah.
Fine. So you've been doing stand up 6 years. So in that time, like, what's your proximity to fame looking like now?
In what sense?
Like, as in, so like, where are you in your career? Would you say?
Nowhere. Here. So they say Rogan.
It ain't Rogan. It ain't Diary of a CEO. We got iPhones.
This is a diary of middle management. No, this is the notes app of middle management. Can't even afford a diary. Can't afford a fucking diary.
Notes app of middle management. But you go on tour. You go on tour?
I'm on tour.
Yeah.
And it's not selling awesome.
No.
But that's because I didn't do it with anyone.
I see.
This next year's tour will probably sell out in most venues.
Yeah.
But this one it was more an exercise in learning promotion.
I see.
Because this is all right. So Louis C.K. he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Like we give him all the credit for being an incredible comic, but he's also one of the greatest promoters of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, he sold out Madison Square Garden basically on his own.
On his own, and it was all for the website. It was all for the mailing list. It was all like he sells comedy specials on his website.
Yes.
That's obscene.
That is nuts. Yeah.
In the era of Netflix and streaming and everything,
Yeah.
I paid for comedy, and when I was a student. I was
paid,
poor.
Yeah. I paid for both of them.
I was poor, and I was
Yeah.
paying for specials on the website. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So like, dude, it was. It's so like I want to improve my promotion game. I want to learn what I'm doing wrong, how to play the algorithm game, when to do the content media rollout, all that strategic shit. That's what this tour is for. I'm not really concerned with selling out at all, because unless it's like a big room with no one in it, I know the show's gonna go well. It's a good show.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Is it the same one you did in Edinburgh last year?
Yeah.
So with the tour, so what does that look like? Are you going to comedy clubs like around the country, around London? Like what were we saying?
Just doing venues I've done before around the country. So like clubs.
Yeah.
But like I'm not doing huge clubs. I'm doing Monkey Barrel, but I'm doing the whole weekend there.
I see.
As well with the show.
I see.
And like we got a deal for people who, are seeing other shows that weekend. They can come in, do that kind of thing, pay what you want, that kind of thing.
I see.
But like there's been like the Soho Theatre run that was done by Show and Tell, and that sold out because like if you need the other, I couldn't imagine having had done my Soho run without and not feeling that would have been unpleasant. But like Cardiff will be dope because it's a lot of it is down to the venues you pick, which is why I wanted to go with like venues I've done before that I trust.
Yeah. Because
it's like you gotta if the venue's not doing their due diligence and plugging you and promoting you and putting posters up and doing all that stuff, you're not gonna sell tickets anyway because the regular punters that go there, people like to go where they go,
Yeah.
And so you got to target that. They have their own internal mailing lists and things like this. The Facebook advertising can only go so far.
Is that what you're using?
Yeah, but I have a guy who's high up in Nike, who's a buddy who helped me with all my my advertising game.
I see. So what's the goal for you? Like, so
comedically?
Like as in, are you trying to do the independent thing? Are you trying to climb the hierarchy, get on TV? Like, what's because it seems like you're quite strategic in your thinking.
I'm pretty scattered in my career approach. I think I'm doing myself a massive disservice.
Really? Why?
I'm just kind of taking things as they come. Like the goal is to be head writer on a TV show.
Really?
And just like be a dad, full-time, stay at home.
Interesting.
In my
but so it's not stand-up for you. It's
no,
writing.
I want to be a legendary stand-up comic. But I also want to raise my fucking children.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be away from their childhoods.
Yeah.
But yeah, like The goal right now is just to get writing work and tour support. Because once you support, like a mate of mine, you know, Dinesh Nathan?
Yes.
Really good comic.
Yeah, great, yeah.
He was on like 1.5 on Insta at some point, a while back. And then he started going on tour support for Tom D and did some stuff with Ahmed Jalali and Rom.
Yeah.
And he's on like 9K now. He's got more followers than me.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just because like you smash your tour support set and then you go, hey, my name is da 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 da. Put a funny joke about your Instagram handle. While they're pissing and goes to getting an extra drink.
Yeah.
Like, if I was this guy, I'll follow him. He'll be back in town next year. And that's how you really quickly ramp up your. Like Tom Lucy put out no content. He puts out no content, but he did tour support for Jack Whitehall for years.
Really?
For a couple of tours.
Yeah.
And so he did support for a bunch of bigger acts and that kind of thing. Similar with Josh Jones. Yeah. Until he started doing the Cherubs podcast with
with Morgan. Yeah.
With Morgan. So it's just the biggest thing you can do for yourself is tour support. That's what I learned from I'm an asshole for forgetting his name, but a guy at ITV when we had the meeting. He was just like, you're fucking up. And it was like, no one in my agency is touring right now, which is a real problem.
Why? Which agency are you with?
Holly Upton.
Oh, nice.
She's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just none of our acts are touring.
Why? Just how it is.
You can't. I mean, it's just time.
It's just interesting.
It's just like I mean, there's no reason why. It's just none of them are. Right now. They will, but not right now.
Yeah. That's interesting. So it's like, so it's basically, it's like for you, you don't necessarily have like a goal right now where you're like, next year, this is where I want to be. You're like,
no, I'd have that
dream.
Stupid. I think it's stupid to set long-term goals because the industry shifts so much. Who could have foreseen the rise of Matt Rouse?
Yes,
Matt Rife.
Yeah, Matt Rife. None of this.
Matt Rouse has had no rise.
Yeah, like I knew you were talking about.
Do you know what? Matt Rouse is going to have a fall before he has a rise.
Yeah. No, I mean, he came out of, the thing is, you say he came out of nowhere, but like, he has been grinding at stand-up for like 14 years.
Yes, but that's not what made him.
No, he's a good-looking guy.
No, that's not what made him. It was the TikTok.
Crowd work.
The crowd work, TikTok, all that shit.
But it's weird, because he was not like he was the first one to do it necessarily.
Yeah, but he did it the best.
Yeah.
He did it the best. And by best, I don't mean he did it the most originally and most creatively. He did it the easiest to consume, and that's a real problem with my content and my stand-up broadly. Is it's not easy to consume. You kind of have to be like with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not.
What form is it in now?
I just think two things. One thing I was thinking about the other day. One thing I really like about your comedy, you speak very slowly.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel like yeah, that's probably true. Like I speak very slowly because I'm trying to make sure that each word has significance. Yeah. But the thing is, when I first started, I would rush my words very quickly, because it's so easy with the adrenaline up there, just be like.
Also, a big problem for me, and this is going to sound really arrogant, but I speak at the rate at which I think.
Interesting.
And so I'm assuming you're taking information as quickly as I process it.
Yeah.
And it's compounded by the fact I've done each of these jokes 50, 60 times.
Yeah.
And so I'm used to saying the sentence. And so I'm just conveying an idea, but I'm not giving people enough time to understand it, understand all the parts of the setup. Yeah. Get the building blocks, the joke solidified. Yeah. And then knock it all down with a punch. Yeah. I'm giving people, hey, if you don't evacuate Gaza the next day, bombs will fall. All right, motherfucker. Like, you have 24 hours for all 2 million of you to get this set up. Before I give you the punchline. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. No.
I've noticed often, like when I'm doing a set, audiences will laugh really hard at the first few jokes. And they're laughing and laughing and laughing forever at jokes. Yeah. But then after a bit, they start to laugh less because they realize, oh, fuck, there's another one coming soon. I don't have much time to laugh at this. I have to stifle my laughter because we're moving at a pace.
I see.
And often, another thing I fuck up, I test new at club gigs.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Like what type of club gig?
Like
type?
full on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I don't care anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
What? But I mean, that's good though. I mean, if you can do that, and
Yeah.
you back yourself to do it and it works, that's a good thing.
I'm also fairly confident that I can win them back. Like if it doesn't work, I just also I'm also open to the fact that I might just bomb.
Yeah.
But my credibility is enough that I'll still get paid and get booked again.
Yeah.
And oh fuck, I just fucked up. I lost them 15 minutes in, and it just
yeah. Have you do you eat shit regularly? Because I feel like I feel like with like stand-ups, there's like a variability. Like there's some people who eat shit regularly, but they almost do it on purpose. And then there's some people who don't have the confidence to eat shit.
I
but
don't have
both
the confidence
of them,
to eat shit.
None, not at all.
No, not really. I test. When I'm testing a bit, I'm pretty certain it's gonna work. And when it doesn't, it's kind of like an undefeated fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're an undefeated fighter, you're like, oh, I'm good. I'm God. I'm gonna. No man alive can touch me.
Yeah.
And the second you get lit, you get hit once, and you get knocked out, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm human.
Yeah,
I can fail, and that fucks my jokes.
Yeah.
But what was I just about to say? I was about to
doing some new material at club gigs.
Club gigs. You lost it with your terrible.
With my terrible take.
I'm joking. I'm kidding.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll come back. We have loads of time.
Yeah.
But I mean, look. I mean, it is interesting. Like for you, do you feel like you speak too quickly?
Yeah, way too quickly, and it's a thing I consciously. On my Fringe show, I had a piece of paper on the floor that said "slow down."
Really?
Yeah.
But where did you get that criticism from? Like, where did that get into your head? Where you're like, I speak too quickly.
Do you know what I got it a lot from people in industry, other comics, you know, and then like when I started getting it from audience members, like you needed to slow down, and comments on videos, you didn't fucking slow down. Yeah. But it's just one thing. I was doing some voiceover work a few weeks ago, and this was revolutionary. It was in the middle of a work day. It was very unprofessional. I hope don't let this go out. But
it's between me and you.
Yeah. But yeah, like so I was caffeinating to keep my fucks up.
Yes.
And the guy was like, "You just have a cup of coffee?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "That's why you're talking so quickly." And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's so that I've been like motor mouthing through 6 years. That was another thing. That's the reason why. That was what I was about to say. Is life in terms of life testing material. When I have a 20, I've packed more jokes than there is space for, and I'm trying to test all. I wish that I cared how the audience is doing. I really wish I was the kind of comedian that's like, you guys deserve a great night. I've come out to help you guys. A round of applause for yourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
I need them.
Yeah.
Every day I need them.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, after the people who can go up to into the crowd after the show, I go like, "Hey, this is my social media handle. Thanks for coming out." Like receiving that when audiences are like, "That was so good." What the other day, person came out to me, that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life, and I have multiple children. And I was like, "Fuck, that was a bad set." And you're from a shit town. That's what. Nothing comes here. I'm not a good comedian. Like, I wish I had that, but because I don't have that, really, that ability to like, not even. I can connect. There are lots of times I'm really able to connect with audiences, but it's hit and miss, the ability to connect, and that's a real personal flaw.
Interesting though.
So because I don't have that, the only reason to really incentivize a gig is to push material forward, which is why I live test every gig. There has to be something new in the set. Otherwise I will phone it in, and phoning it in is the biggest waste of time, because there's so many easier ways to be a poor person than to be a stand-up comedian.
Damn.
Just a working club comic.
Yeah,
it broke people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a lot of money.
No, it's not.
So like, I don't want that.
No.
And so like, you know, you gotta. I need to be pushing material forward and trying and testing and seeing what the boundaries are on things. And you know, otherwise, what is the point of my life? You've thrown away
Countless opportunities.
You're not just countless opportunities to get better, but you've also thrown away a really high-paying job and a simple, easy, domestic life for an unstable, difficult, competitive industry that doesn't pay well. And you're gonna phone it in on that.
Yeah,
you should have just phoned it in at a day job.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I always like get down to whenever I talk to people about comedy, because it's like, what is the goal? And I feel like what the problem with a lot of the way people see it, because we're in such an interesting time in the industry, because it's like there is no direction anymore. Like now it's literally like you can do anything with this. This can be, you're a club circuit comedian. Maybe you get on TV. Maybe you become a writer on something if you're lucky. Maybe you do social media. Maybe you do voiceover. There's so many things, and there's no pathway. But it's like people act like the goal is to get a weekend spot at a club in London. But it's like, that's cool and that's great and it's so much fun. It pays a bit of money, but it's like ultimately, if you're taking a train that costs £50 to get paid £150, like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do this forever?
No.
Until you're like a 70-year-old person and then you retire on nothing?
No, it's terrible. No, it's and by the way, I do want to be getting those club gigs on a weekend in London. Yeah. But it's part of it is another bad personality trait is that I'm very competitive. It's like probably my worst quality.
Like too competitive.
Not even too competitive, like all-encompassingly. The other day I was doing a set with Odawale, where we're doing our new shows, half an hour each. Yeah. And Michael is a really good friend of mine. Yeah. And I love him. And he's a full-time proper comic, He just had his day was, I'm gonna have a wank and then I'm gonna, that kind of a day. And I'd worked all day taking the train to Leicester. Was like I'd barely had time between finishing work and the show and did an early gig. Classic. 6. And he went on, and he's also a better and more experienced comic than me. That's just a fact.
Yeah, he's going longer.
He's older. Yeah. And so like he went on, did his thing, and I didn't do well by my standards because I was fucking shattered. And I felt like shit. But I was competing with not just a better comic, but also my friend. But that just doesn't go away. Every gig I do, I have to do the best on every gig. The headliner has to struggle a bit. Yeah. They're still gonna have a better set. I can deal with that. Yeah. But they have to not be comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. I get you. I mean, but that's the thing that mindset is the thing that makes you get better. I mean, at anything really. Like if you go into something not caring and not caring about being the best person, you'll never be the best person. No. And you kind of have to think like, what? Do I want to if you want to be good at something to a huge degree, I guess to some level it has to consume you to probably a toxic level. Yeah. And that's kind of something that you have to decide, like, is it something you're comfortable with? And it might not be. It's ebbed away a bit in the last couple in the year. Pretty much over 2023, it did ebb away a lot, and I don't like who I'm becoming. Really? A healthier person. It's not.
I thought you were gonna go the other way. I thought you were gonna go the other way. What's the like mental effects of like stand up for you? Would you say there's anything that like it affects you?
After killing, and that's rare. Like your perception of a kill goes up and up every time. Yeah. Compared to your peers. Yeah. But after that, and knowing, after like the person after you like struggles, that kind of a thing. That's like it's like God complex a little bit. You put your rap music on the train home. Yeah. You have your prop and your drink and that's great. But that's negative because it's very high and low. You can't the thing I don't like that I'm doing right now is the highs and lows are going away a bit, and I'm stabilizing it a bit more. Yeah. And what that means is like I'm not experiencing the highs as high, and the lows are coming up a bit. The lows still suck. When a set doesn't go as well as I want, it's still painful, really, really painful every time. Yeah. And it's getting less and less awful. And I'm getting less and less competitive. I'm looking left and right less. I'm just kind of doing this a bit more. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's healthier. But for me, the effect of being healthier is that I'm not writing as much as I used to. I used to write 5 hours every weekend the whole way through. Every Saturday and Sunday.
Hey, that's huge.
You used to write like an hour or two every night after gigs. Like every night off was filled with comedy work. Whereas now I'm putting more time into my relationship. I'm smoking weed more, playing Xbox more.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not good in the sense that like you have to be a workaholic, especially when you got a full-time day job. I mean, a lot of these comics, you know,
they don't,
with rich parents or like or maybe like poor parents who just let them live in their house, you know. The early years they're spending working on their shit, or at least they should be. Like when I was unemployed for a bit last year, for like 3 months, like I was genuinely like
working on stand-up.
Gym first thing by noon, writing till 4 or 5, then take my nap, go do my gigs every day. And it was high. I think I wrote about half of my show in 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, in those 3 months.
Yeah,
a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
The only reason I went back to work is because my grandparents kept fucking asking for money. Yeah, they went back to Zim and they needed like shit for the house because there's no infrastructure.
Of course. So like your grandparents live in Zim.
Yeah.
Who else lives in Zim? Just your grandparents?
No, sorry, they're back in the UK now.
Oh, they're back in the UK. Do you have a family there still?
No one I love. Like, you know those relatives where it's just like, if you die, it's like, I can't tell you how many how many times someone in my family has died. Yeah. And then my mom's like, oh, Jeff's dead. I'm like, oh.
No, man. My mom has
like,
5 siblings.
You know what I mean?
I don't know any of them.
Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. But if this person needed me to feel sorry when they died, they could have called me.
Oh, man, that is so true.
Awful.
It's the diaspora.
It's so awful. But it's true. Like, all the only family members, when you're in a proper, you know, when you're an immigrant, you come here early, like, a family becomes such a local thing.
How old did you come here?
6.
Damn, man. I came here when I was 8.
Yeah.
So it's quite similar.
Oh, fuck. Why is your accent wrong?
Which accent do you think I have?
You have an international school accent with a lot of Zim in there.
Do you think?
I think you have a very international school accent. Yeah.
Do you think? Would you be able to tell that I'm not English?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Immediately.
That's
I hate to break it to you, but everyone.
Embarrassingly.
Do you know what you're like right now? You know that sketch with the Chappelle sketch with the
white guy? Yeah, the white supremacist
is black. Yeah,
it's like Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah. That's you. You're Clayton Bigsby.
I hate him, nigger.
Guys, I am so English. Am I not? Guys, I am one of you. Am I not?
Am I not? I promise. I am English.
Yeah, I love this colonialism. It's fantastic. Great Britain.
I can't, honestly, I go back and forth. I can't even tell because sometimes I'm with people and they say I sound posh. I'm with people and they say I sound Zimbabwean. But international school is probably the best way.
You sound like wherever you're from, you had servants. I don't know where you're from. Like, but I know the servants existed. Like they were either basically slaves or very middle class.
Hey, they were paid like teachers.
I had a joke that never worked about our servants in Zim.
What was it?
I went back to Zimbabwe when I was 12 years old, and our old groundskeeper and maid had, got together and they'd had a baby.
Nice.
And I was beautiful because one day that kid could have grown up and been my slave. Keep it in the family, you know.
Yeah, I get why that didn't work. I get why that didn't work.
You have your mother's eyes, but you know what? You don't have her fucking timing. Piece of shit. Get back out there.
Oh my god. Man, no, it is. It is so, because I took my girlfriend to Zim in December, and she could not, because yes, I do have 7, but she could not at all get in the headspace of asking people to do things for you, because it's such like an uncomfortable thing for like British people. because she's a second generation immigrant, but she's pure.
Where's she
British.
from?
Nigeria.
Oh,
she's
shit.
never been. She's never
Oh,
been.
wow. I
Never
really expected you to have a white girlfriend. But
yeah, most people do. Most people do. But
That's
she's the
wild.
closest thing to it without disappointing my parents.
And then you know what my grandparents call my girlfriend?
What?
They go, Tadiwe, it is your friend. Like we're a gay couple in the 60s. It's fucking obscene. It's
She's
really
your
it's
friend.
disgusting to me.
How-
But, you know, that's fine. It's really weird trying to make fun of my grandparents being racist.
Yeah.
It's hard.
They're all racist.
Hard sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Because a lot of white people that come to comedy shows, old white people,
Yeah.
you know, if you're in town.
Yeah.
If you're in the Shires, you know, it's fucked.
Yeah,
But if you're in London, they were the ones that fought for your rights. They were the ones getting dragged away like Bernie Sanders. Like they were actually the one. So if you're making racial jokes with us, like no, motherfucker, without me specifically, you were fucked. So you can't joke about racism to them.
No, you can't.
Actually, they're the only ones that'll get close to getting it. But yeah, you can't joke about old people being racist to them.
No, you can't.
And you can't joke about old people being racist to old racists.
No, you can't.
So it's very difficult to make that funny.
That is mad. So it's like, so what? So for you, so your whole family that you care about is in the UK?
Yeah, everyone I love.
Everyone you love. So
Except for my uncle who's in America.
yeah.
My cousin.
Yeah. So did both your parents come when you were 6?
Oh, my dad wasn't in the picture.
Oh, your dad wasn't in the picture.
Yeah.
Fine. I mean,
my mom came.
Yeah, my mum came. My parents are divorced.
Yeah.
So my dad is still in the picture, but
Yeah.
in name only, really.
Yeah,
He paid the school fees.
Yeah, no,
That's
fuck
all.
you then. Fuck you. Yeah, my dad's not in the picture. Like, he provided for me my entire life. But he did all he could. The relationship didn't work out. But,
didn't work out,
he
no.
couldn't leave his home and everything he loved.
No, yeah. He was financially in the picture.
He is as involved with my life as he could be. He made as much of an effort as an African man could. But,
As they could, and even more so. Even more so.
You fucking piece of shit.
No, I love it. I love it. That's a black father. But no, but the thing is,
Yeah,
that's what they was. Yeah, so they split up. So like, I still see my dad
so
like
cool.
probably once every like 6 years.
Oh, 6 years?
Yeah.
Wait, how often do you call?
Barely ever.
Barely,
but
yeah.
it's kind of like we have a mutual respect.
Yeah.
He knows the deal. We know.
Also,
we kinda
you're
know
a
what
doctor, so he loves you.
Exactly. That's literally it. Because for him, it's like his love is very based on credentials.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're a doctor. My sister's an accountant.
Yeah.
My other sister, God knows what she does, but she
Yeah.
makes a bit of money. So that's
Yeah.
all he cares about.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. That would be a fascinating conversation
Yeah.
for my dad, because he cares, like a lot of Zimbabweans, he cares the most about how much money you're making.
Yeah.
So to hear his reaction to my sister being like, look, listen. Listen, I'm making 10 grand a week. But
And your dad's like, who the fuck do you think is sending you that? All of your uncles, you fucking retard. You think you got that? You have no social media presence.
Oh,
you
God.
think that's organic growth? You dumb.
Oh my god! Oh, it's so funny. Man. When was the last time you were in Zim?
I'm going back this summer, but last time was when I was 12 to go meet my father.
Really? That was the last
First
time.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's like my mother was one of the founders of the MDC.
Yes, I've
So
heard
like
this before.
it's like fucked. We can't really go back like that.
So is it like, because I mean, here's the thing that like
Yeah.
confuses me, because like with the MDC, so for people who don't know your niche, Zimbabwean.
It's not a niche. It's like the Labour Party, but
Yeah,
UK
so
is
it's
racist.
like, so in Zimbabwe is a fascinating political country because in some ways, I mean, in all ways it's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
However, it's a dictatorship that still has elections every 4 or 5 years.
like Russia.
Yes, like Russia.
Yeah.
But the political rivals have more freedom in
Yeah.
some way. Like you can openly be an MDC politician,
Yeah.
come to prominence and all that stuff.
And also have the most votes.
Yes,
but
exactly.
not win the election.
So an MDC is the other party,
Yeah.
like the other main party. But like, and people will show support for MDC.
Yeah.
But like they just won't win.
Yeah,
Ultimately.
they won't win.
So like, so your mum was, your mum was one of the founding people, and
Yeah.
then so what happened? Is that why you left?
Yeah, there's threats in our lives.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Madness.
Well, because she was like a young, attractive, successful lawyer from that first generation of people who went to university in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And so and this is in the 90s, and she
Yeah.
had a voice as a woman in the 90s,
Yeah,
and she was
yeah.
smarter than people.
Yeah, of course.
Like there's a picture my mum has, like McCain came to like visit him and like
really,
like was in her office and shit.
really.
Yeah.
What's she doing now?
She's now an immigration lawyer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did she go into law in the UK as well?
Yeah, immediately. Yeah.
Damn son. So
Yeah, it was crazy. Like she came here, she was like working as a cleaner to try and make ends meet while she was trading on laws.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was
I mean, that's the classic thing, isn't it?
She's an unbelievable person.
Yeah, and you're a comedian.
Yeah, but I'm also rich. So like, let's not fuck around. Act like I'm a failure. All right. Let's not. Let's not fuck around here and lie.
Because you're a finance bro.
I'm not a finance bro. I am working big oil now. I'm a software engineer in the oil industry. It's pretty fucked up.
I love that.
It's disgusting.
I love that. I love that.
And the company I work at is great. I had a bit that I could never get to work about them because, like, I work at a company that makes data management tools for oil companies.
Yeah.
So like, the company I work for, like, this. A week before last, we got our like pay rise announcements come out, and mine was like an extra £200 a month.
Fine,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
that's money. Money's money. I'm striking for that shit.
You're striking for what I'm complaining about. Yeah,
exactly. That's
but like it's there's no way to make this polite, but like it ain't enough. But I was happy for it because it's like that means they're not gonna ask me for. You can't ask for a senior engineer salary.
Yeah.
And then do like I have a full-time comedy career work.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like the expectation would be that I'd be at work right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like everyone across the company has had that level of. There was oh, you've been here for us for 15 years.
Yeah.
Pay bonuses that went out once.
Yeah.
What was it? It was like 750 quid.
Damn.
15 years of your life.
Fucking hell for 750.
Yeah, wild.
Pounds.
It's that kind of company where it's like
fine.
Very tight. But like, and everyone there is great at what they do.
Yeah.
But they are significantly more focused on their families. Like,
I see.
There's a guy who works on a team. Every single call. In the background, the kid, and it's like just fucking hit him, just hit him once,
just once,
just put the fear of God in him.
Were you hit by as a kid?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, me too.
Not often.
Was it belt, stick?
It was belt, but again, not often. I grew up with my grandparents, so I got away with bloody fucking murder.
Fine.
But like it was the weirdest shit I got hit for.
Yeah.
Just like, ill-maneuvered politics.
Interesting.
Yeah, like not hearing my grandfather when he said something at a prayer meeting and making it look like I was disrespecting him, even though I just didn't hear it. And I was just a belt for that. Because it's guests.
Yeah.
And he's a pillar of the community.
Yeah, of course.
That kind of a thing.
Was that in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah.
But my mum hit me over like bad grades.
Yeah. I mean, they're good.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, to an extent, I was, yeah.
Do you think hitting kids, like, do you think it actually helps?
No.
Do you actually not?
I think it's stupid. I think you're an ape if you can't communicate with a child. Yeah. I will say this: being a parent is frustrating, and if you have a child that's just naturally very strong-willed, eventually you have to break their will somehow.
You have to break their will.
Yeah, and make them do what they should be doing.
Yeah.
But it should be the last resort of all last resorts. However, I do think that the threat of violence should always be in the air. And that as a parent, it's irresponsible to get into bad shape. So it's like, if this motherfucker hits me, it will hurt.
Yeah, of course.
And that should just be looming.
Yeah, of course.
But don't hit him.
No.
You love your kids.
The thing is, what I would say is it works, but at what cost?
At what cost? At what cost?
Like, literally, like, you're hitting your kid.
Yeah.
But god damn, did it work for me. Like, it fucking put the fear of God in me. Like, I probably was hit for... I mean, I just stole money.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. I just did a bad thing and I got punished. Yeah. That was that and lying. Once when I was like 5.
Yeah.
And then my parents hit me. Yeah. And I was like, fair. It was with the belt. It was done. But
was it often?
No, only twice. Literally only twice.
Wow.
But it was like you say, it was always in the air.
You can count it on the back of your hand.
But like my mum talks about like how her dad, what he used to do is he used to be like, okay, fine. When she was gonna get hit, she'd be like, okay, go into the garden and go find a stick,
Yeah, that was the shit. Yeah,
so
you
I
had
can
to,
hit you.
and if you picked up some pussy ass stick,
then
you
it's
go out and get a pipe. It just kill you.
So it's like psychologically, like,
Yeah,
what are you meant to do? Because if
Yeah.
you get a big stick, then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, fine, let's fucking go. So you
Yeah.
literally can't win. But that was the kind of thing that our parents' generation just grew up
See,
with.
while my parents are older, I'm gonna go. All right. So here are 3 different plugs. One of these is your life support. Pick the one you want me to pull.
Oh my god! One of these is your life support. Your poor parents. Oh man.
But it'll be fine because it'll be on private because I'm rich. But,
I'm rich as fuck. I'm rich as fuck. No, that's what I love. What I love about your comedy and your sense of humor is the fact that like it's just so aggressively like I'm sick. It's so hard to make that funny, but it's like, yeah, I'm sick.
well, that's thank you very much. That's very sweet to say. The comedy that I love the most is the hardest to do.
Interesting. What's your favorite type?
It's always been I grew up on Jazzlenik, Louis, Jimmy Carr, Hedberg, Hannibal. These are people act like and truly they deserve all their grace.
Yeah.
But people act like what the comedy they do is it's not easy to do.
No.
It's very technically difficult to do, to pull off, especially Jazzlenik. Jazzlenik was a massive inspiration, especially when I was at uni when I was first dabbling in it.
Yeah.
And I just love that there's when a big part of it is also fear of getting hurt.
Interesting.
And so it's kind of like I've got to be big it's punch the biggest guy in the yard.
Yeah.
I got to be bigger than the audience.
Yeah,
so
it's a status game.
So they can't hurt me because like I'm young, I'm black, and I'm thin and it's easy to go at you.
No, but it's because it's like
I'm short relatively.
I've never seen you stand up. I've never seen you stand up, so I have no idea who's taller between the two of us. I actually don't
Well,
know.
I don't think that matters. I think we can just be friends. You have to turn this into a fucking dick measuring contest. That was wild.
No, but
You've been around too many Nigerians who can't just be male friends.
No, I can't. They are fucking brutal. No, but yeah, like, cause cause I had a podcast before.
Yeah.
The way I got to interview Jimmy Carr.
Yeah,
And
wow.
Very, very fortunately, it was a crazy set of events that will never line up ever again.
Yeah.
But it was in like literally my first year of doing stand up.
Yeah.
And the thing that he said was like and I've said this so many times on the podcast, but this is something that bears repeating, is that he was like, the thing that you have to decide in stand up and kind of in life to be successful is you have to decide, are you charisma or are you charm?
Yeah.
So charisma is the people you're describing.
Natural.
Like Louis, Anthony Jeselnik, Jimmy Carr. So those are the people who are like, the audience comes to you. You're above them. Or you can be charm where you go to the audience. So like, I don't know, like Russell Howard is like charm, very bright. Like, I love you people, all that kind of thing.
I think a big failure of mine is it's very insincere when I try to go to the audience.
Yeah, that's that thing. It just comes out on your personality.
They can smell it. They can smell that like when I'm smiling too much, I'm like, hi guys, I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah.
They can see that I'm doing that for work and that I'm not naturally what I would love is to write all the jokes down. My mother does this at work.
Yeah.
She writes out, right, this is what your argument is going to be.
Yeah.
This is how my was taught to it. This is what your retort is going to be.
Yeah.
And she just writes all that shit out and she hands it to the barrister. There's other motherfuckers saying about, and she's just checking emails, YouTube, and this person's pleading, is like arguing that now. Well, she's already gotta bring stronger source in that.
Yeah.
I wish I could just give them, hey, here's like a hymn sheet of my jokes. Sing along if you like. But I'm gonna be over here. But also there's another part of me. There's another part of me that just loves going to them, and if I'm in an excitable mood, I do just want to foster that. An ideal energy would be people who want to come to me, and I want to go to them, and it's just a room full of fans, but that's just not what you get at this point in the career. And it also makes you better when you're at this point in the career.
No, it does. You can't have fans now.
No.
Honestly, I think like the social media people who try to do stand up, I genuinely think there's no way. There's no. It would be so hard.
One of the worst things I've ever seen in my career.
Yeah.
This kid, I don't care what her name was anymore. She followed me on Insta, and she was like a 250K odd person.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm doing
Yeah, just Chan. It's fine.
I'm doing my first ever stand-up comedy gig, and I'd like you to be on it. I've heard great things. And then she's like, I'm like, all right. So what time can I be on? Because I'm doubling. And she said, what is doubling mean? I said, it means I'm doing 2 gigs in the same night.
Okay.
She's like, okay. All right. When do you want to go on? I was like, it's up to you. I can either open or close.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm not sure the terminology. I think it's gonna be an open show because other audience members are allowed from the public.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, and I was like, sure, I'll just put me on last headline.
Yeah,
and then I 3 days before the spot, her agent told me her to pull me because it'll be like if the people had to sit through their shit. I wasn't gonna headline. I was gonna go. I was gonna go in the middle of her show. That was what it was.
Yeah, do a 20 or what?
20 in the first section, 20.
And she was gonna She was gonna do the first and second half.
She was gonna MC.
Okay.
I do the first, and then another act,
Fine.
or whatever. I don't know what the rest of the show was gonna be, but I know it was gonna be me and then someone else, who was also influencer. And the agent said if they do that, like the other influencer will have such a bad time that I should be pulled.
Fair enough.
And it was like, yeah, fair enough, but like, give me my fucking money, cunt. That was another thing. She was gonna pay me in exposure. This is a fucking 2 North Down.
Yeah, classic.
Not 2 North Down. 21 Soho. That's
nice.
a 180 seater with Christina. I opened for Christina P there.
Yeah.
As full as it can be. 100 odd seat. You think I'm gonna get 100 fucking followers?
Yeah, so true.
From that gig?
Yeah,
no.
so
it's gonna be
true.
4 if I kill.
In exposure. That's
it
so
was wild.
Good. Nah, man. I mean, it's a different thing. Like it's not like it's like a disrespect thing. Like if you can make it big with comedy videos, more power to you, because that's something that clearly all of us are trying to do.
Everyone wants it.
Everyone wants it, but it's like once you have it, then what? That's the thing. And if you're like Matt Rife and you have the genuine chops to be like, I've been doing stand-up for a decade and now I've gone on social media and I've blown up, then great. Because now you can do a Netflix special and no one can question how good you are. Like, even if
you can.
Like,
I mean, a shit special.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Matt Rife. He sounds like a nice guy, but he's not my style of comedy. But you can't deny he's done as he is.
It's not your style of comedy, doing a black voice when you're a white man.
I haven't actually watched it. Did he do that?
His entire act is in black voice. It's fucking disgusting.
Interesting.
I hate that so much because he's like a well-to-do white kid, probably fine person. He's also had plastic surgery.
Yes.
But
Has he actually?
Yeah. If you look at his clips from Wild and Out, he's had an all-new tooth put in. He's had his jawline changed. He was ugly as fuck. But then he's been lifting. But like he still had. He's going to be a massive built. He would have looked, if he was that hench and had his real face. He'd look like a henchman in a Russian shit. Like one of those people that's like, yes to Putin.
What do you think? So what do you think of like the style of comedy, like what he does? Like, do you back it?
I think that I think Chappelle created a way of delivering jokes that's very effective, and like everything that's very effective, it's copied poorly.
Interesting.
And executed poorly. That said, Matt Rife has enough ability to get people to come to him. And he's also good, quick. Yeah. Very, very quick. Razor sharp quick.
Very quick, yeah.
And so he can rescue bad bits with great crowd work and have good sets. And that's a great skill.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's put more work into comedy than I have in the last year.
Yeah.
He's put more comedy into work than I have in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, of course.
So, like, who am I to judge him when I've been I've not. That's one of the big things that annoys me about myself and where I'm in my career is that I have people who are my friends who I started out with, and they put more work into their comedy than I do because they said, all right, I'm going to blow up one day. I'm just going to be broke right now. And they just kept hammering away. And yeah, they've put more time in. And it's unfortunate that like, that's why I don't like, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I don't like how much more healthy I'm becoming.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. It's not going to work out long term.
Yeah, of course.
If I don't approach comedy with the same crazed addiction, the same. But it's the same. Who says this? Hove is like, I'm never going to write another blueprint.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to be in the part of my life again where I needed the blueprint to work.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's never going to be a second. You can't go back to that time. If you're trying to create a stable environment for a child to come into, you can't recreate the instability that facilitated the wealth that you're creating for the child. So it's I got to figure out who I want to be and how I want to proceed with comedy. Yeah, because the time to go full time. I mean, I could live in London easily. Yeah. With a full-time comedy salary. And also, like, I've got a good mortgage rate. Like, my monthly is very low. Yeah. My girlfriend could handle the entire mortgage if she wanted. Yeah. So I could just be a full-time comic right now, but my pride is not letting me, it's just not letting me go full-time.
What do you think about, because, like, let's say someone like Matt Rife, right? Yeah. Who's, like, clearly, he was broke. He did the grind, did the 10 years, did the hustling, shitty cafe gigs. Now he's doing big comedy, whatever. Do you think being like Blueprint, like with Jay-Z, do you think that being broke actually helps creative ambition? Or is that like fantasy where we just kind of romanticize
I think it's twofold. Necessity is a mother of invention. However, necessity also does facilitate hack bullshit. Yeah. Just this will work. This will get me the quick buck that I need to eat. I think Chris Rock had a line where he's talking about Kanye's dedication for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah. And Kanye went on the island and he was there for 6 months and he was in the studio for 12 hours a day, every day. Yeah. Day was start with exercise, healthy meal, group focus. Yeah. What are our intentions? Everyone was in a suit in the studio. Yeah. We are making Thriller. Yeah. That's what we're here to do. If you're not here to make Thriller, get the fuck off the island. Yeah. That was the vibe. And Chris is talking about a lot of rappers will make a movie and do an album in the same year. Yeah. Ain't gonna work. No. You can't make a classic part-time. And that's what I tried to do last year. That's what I'm trying to do this year for the 2025 show. Yeah. I'm trying to make a classic part-time. That don't work. I'm capped at a 4-star show. Fuck. By my day job. Fuck. And if you have a day job, you're capped at a 4-star show. You will not write a 5-star show. Damn. So what's the solution then? Because quit your day job, save enough money to build up a. So I was saving for the housing deposit, and I got it, and now I'm saving for a deposit for a second home that I can use as supplementary income to put myself in the best position to just all right. If stand-up ain't working out properly, at least I've got this rent coming from this struggling family that I'm charging way more than they can afford to. And I'll be a cunt landlord too. I ain't fixing shit. I ain't answering emails. Yeah, you have to take me to court all the time.
Yeah, you'll win because you're rich. What's the dream? What's the dream?
Well, the target for this next show is to deliver to get at least a 4.5-star show together, and also to write a show I like. I made a lot of mistakes. I mean, this year, the good news is I can't win any awards.
Because?
I just can't.
Why?
It's impossible.
Interesting.
You can't win. You can't win main prizes. You can't.
Of course.
You can't write with the hope or plan with the intention of winning main prizes. You can. Newcomer could have been forced.
Yeah.
If I'd been unemployed that entire year and I just did comedy the entire way through, I could have probably got closer to the target.
Yeah.
But like that, it's a much smaller pool, and also like you can really. I mean, I paid enough to try and give myself. I got the best PR.
Yeah.
I got the best producer. My show and tell are great.
Yeah.
My agent's very good at what she does. I had great artwork. I had great sales as a result of all of that.
Yeah.
The team I built.
Yeah.
Meticulously.
Yeah.
Put me in a great position.
Yeah.
However, the show I wrote, I was writing with the intention of I know what these white people want.
Interesting.
And I was ruining good jokes to fit into the mold of what an Edinburgh show is. This year, I don't have to worry about that
because you've got what you need.
I don't have what I didn't get what I need. I did the target. This is the thing that annoyed me about Edinburgh, and you'll experience this too because you're not going to win shit. What annoyed me about Edinburgh was you can't really complain when you're having a show that's selling well, because the show was a failure.
Yeah.
The show failed with my intentions. I didn't get what I want.
I see.
I didn't get not even just the nomination. I didn't get enough reviews. It wasn't an interesting story because everyone had heard the rags to riches, born immigrant, grew up poor, works expeditiously, trying to provide for my family. Everyone's heard that story. No one cares about that. They want to hear about white working class people who are still poor, and it's quite frankly. I think it's sad because you're white and still poor. I mean, the game was made for you.
It's like that Chris Rock bit.
You know what I mean?
Do you know the Chris Rock bit? I
Which
think
one?
it's in it might be in Bigger, Blacker, and Never Scared, where he's just like, and it's like it's basically like an example of like why being white is better, because he's like, I'm a millionaire and there are white people in here who wouldn't trade places with me. There's a busboy in the back being like, I might just ride this white shit out.
Nah, it's dope. No, but what's it called? Yeah, I couldn't complain, and so you're probably gonna go through that, and find the right people to complain to because you need a support system.
Yeah, because I'm like this is 3.5 years for me
of doing comedy.
Doing comedy.
You can wait.
Yeah,
you don't have to do it for a couple of years.
No, that's the thing.
And you don't rush it because you can't. You only get the shot at newcomer once, and that's why I brought it up. Of this year's show, the intention of this show is to bar out, and to say to do the kind of comedy I grew up watching, or to come as close to it, you know, of going as close to the perimeter as possible on every single joke. Yeah, every single joke should be at the cusp of turning the gig. Yeah. Because that's where the place is fun. That's where it's actually fun to perform. That goes back to what we were saying earlier about like my style is deliberately difficult to do. Yeah. Because it's very easy to be an underdog comedian. Yes. It's actually the simplest position to take.
Yeah, because it's punching up, punching down, that thing. People, even if you don't believe it, that punching down can't be funny. It's easier. It's easier not to punch down.
It's easier not to punch down.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really think I punch. I don't think I have the charisma to punch down.
Yeah, or you're too successful to punch down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things sound way more horrible in my voice. I have a joke about a flatmate who, in the joke, it's a true story. The police were called on our flat. Yeah. Because she punched my flatmate in his cock, and they started banging on his bedroom door. Yeah. So the guy she had over could beat the fuck out of him, and he called the police for his safety. And I tell them this in the bit, and I do it in a funny way. It's all funny up until the point where I say, because I was high at the time in the story. And it was also the night before my first TV taping. Really? This all happened on the night before my first ever BBC Two taping. Yeah. I was had the police in my house while I was on drugs because of this woman who was an awful flatmate to live with.
Yeah, yeah.
And just violent and belligerent.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, and it's all funny until I tell the audience that I got her evicted.
Because you're the one at the top.
Because no matter what, in my voice, so I got her evicted, sounds bad.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so difficult to sympathize with me.
It's mad, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating because it kind of shows where we are as a culture.
Yeah.
Because one of the great things I love about stand-up is it's very revealing
Yeah.
on like who you are as a person and how
Yeah.
people see you. Even if you don't think you're like this is how people see you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it's always going to be. Like for me, I'm still earlier in the game where I'm like still figuring out like what is like my perception, like how do people see me on stage?
Yeah.
And like any insight I always appreciate, but it's like it's difficult to really put a finger on it yet for me.
Yeah.
But it's like I think once you know that, you kind of know what you can't get away with.
Yeah.
And it's very useful because it's like anything that you do say that is like a bit out of the line
Character.
of what you can say. Yeah, it's quite easily filtering. It's
Yeah.
quite easy to go to like a new material night, say something, and people immediately don't react to it, and you immediately know, okay, that's not my voice.
Yeah.
That's not my voice. But it takes years for that to come.
It takes a long time. You got to go through all the iterations of all the things you can say.
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons why British comedy is so limiting, another thing that I hate about being in a relationship is that it does limit. I would have, if I wasn't my girlfriend, I probably would have gone to New York in the next year or two.
Really?
If I wasn't with my girlfriend, I almost certainly would have been in New York by now.
Interesting.
After everything that happened with just, I don't know. Anyway, I would have left the country. But now I just couldn't imagine making her change her life for my dream. That's very unfair.
UK or US comedy, what do you back?
It's US is way better at everything.
Really? Is that just stand up?
I think stand-up, yeah. British stand-up is just not even close to as good as American stand-up because who's a better footballer? Someone who trains every day of the week, or someone who trains 4 or 5 days a week.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. In America, you just get on more. You get on stage more, and that's it. That's all it really comes down to.
Yeah.
Is you get on stage more.
Who's your favorite British comedian?
Stuart Lee probably is probably the best.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah.
I love how you equate best with your favorite.
Yeah.
It's like you respect skill.
Yeah,
my
I do.
man. But is there anyone who you're like might not necessarily be the best, but like you're like, I fuck with this person?
Pierre Novelli.
Who's that?
He's South African comedian, but he's lived in the UK about as long as you have.
Really?
Yeah. Came when he was 8, actually. Yeah.
Damn, my
He's
niche.
he's unbelievable, but he's white, so you're fine.
Good. Good.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
He actually sounds quite similar to you.
Does he?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't go to an international school. I went to a Zimbabwean school, and then I went to a British private school.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this happened.
British private school?
Yeah, yeah.
Where? Which one?
It's called Bedford School.
Bedford School.
Yeah.
Oh, shithole, but it's
Yes, it is. It's a shithole, but it's a great school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play like Eton, and he went to my school actually.
Holy shit.
That's
really?
how I met him. Yeah, that's how we got the lockdown on the studio.
Then
Yeah.
another privately educated piece of shit in the UK.
hey,
listen.
this. I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
Nope. No, you're not. You're the group I'm trying to dominate.
Oh, what do you mean?
I have a real chip on my shoulder
On what?
about growing up poor.
Really?
I think the real reason why I have a chip on my shoulder is because I should have grown up rich. Because if my mom had just like allowed her country to collapse and had no gripes with that, we'd be in a fucking 6-bedroom in Zimbabwe. Private education, all that shit.
Yeah. No, man. Nah, it's very true. Because I mean,
It's fucked up.
but the thing is, now MDC, it's like people are much more like they are the good guys.
Yeah.
They are the good guys. For whatever reason, whoever has control of what poll or whatever or voting station, people are still very like positive on MDC.
Yeah.
So who knows, things might change. But like with my family, it was like my parents grew up poor.
Yeah.
And my mum grew up all right. Like her parents were a teacher, but her dad died in the war.
I'm sorry.
And my dad, he grew up like okay for a black person in the 1970s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like his dad could like read, his dad had like a license to drink alcohol and smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
But my dad is really the reason why like I'm not I grew up well off because he like became like a partner at PwC in Zimbabwe.
Oh shit.
So that was the reason. But like ultimately, like because I lived in the UK and my dad was well off in Zim, it's a very difficult thing to communicate because I had the drapings of privilege, but at the same time, my mum's a teacher. Yeah. So I lived in a teacher's house, getting sent tuition to go to a private school. Yeah. So it's like and now it's like when I go back to Zimbabwe and I spend time with my dad, I'm like, oh shit, like this is me as well. But like my whole life, I did not see myself as that. So it's like, it's very difficult to communicate because it sounds like I'm being like, oh, you know, like I know what it's like to grow up like not without any money. But it's like, it was genuinely like I was shut off from it completely until I became an adult.
That's so
and
interesting.
then now I'm like, oh fuck, like I actually have to be very aware of my own privilege because it's not ingrained in me. It's not ingrained in me that I am someone of privilege because in my mind I've always seen myself as, oh, my mum's a teacher. I grew up in a basically single family house. My dad, like, although he financially was not there as a parent whatsoever. So it's like, it's a very difficult psychological situation.
That's why you're funny.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's the correct level. It's the correct level of wrong.
Exactly.
You're fucked up just enough. It's the correct level of fucked up.
It's the correct level of fucked up.
That's good.
Man, do you speak Shona?
Yeah.
Wow, fluently?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I was fluent.
Oh really?
No, I'm like if you spoke Shona to me, I understand it 100%.
Oh yeah.
But I'm slow in speaking.
What did Dodi?
I'm not. I'm not a shit.
Do you know what's funny about the way I can speak Shona?
How?
I only ever spoken to my parents.
Really?
Only to my parents.
So you don't know swear words?
And so I have like I speak like a Zimbabwean politician who has recently had a brain hemorrhage. I speak so politely, poorly.
Yeah.
My Shona is not. I like you. I understand it fluently.
Yeah.
But like I have no cultural reference points.
Yeah.
It's like I learned it for uni.
Yeah.
For a course.
Yeah. Fine. Hi, Tad. Tad? Do you like Tad?
Yeah, Tad is good.
Perfect.
You even can say Tadiwe properly. So.
Yeah, Tadiwe. What do you I just asked him if he's okay, Tom. But yeah, so like there's a tradition on this podcast.
I don't go to know what I am. But I'll go find that. Tino mutora neshamu. Tino mendesa kunze kutora shamu. Tino shandisa kumura.
Tom, you can watch the podcast when it comes out with the subtitles underneath. But okay, fine. There's a tradition on this podcast.
We're gonna go fast.
We love you, Tom. But okay.
You know what's great? My girlfriend finds it really sexy when I speak in Shona.
Mine too.
Yeah, so I'll say shit to her like andikude.
That's a joke for us. Yeah, like honestly, like but for me it's like because my Shona is slow and my girlfriend loves it when I speak Shona like to my mum. Yeah. I just sometimes I just make shit up.
She likes when you speak it to your mum. She's getting wet to your conversations to your mum. Oh yeah, just call your mother-in-law. Call my mother-in-law.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we have to send the kids to their nan for this. I just want to see her. Is she doing well?
She's doing well. She's doing well. Oh man, this is the most I've laughed on the podcast. Hey, the closing tradition on this podcast is everyone gets asked a question, a profound question about life. Yeah. And I want to know what your answer is.
Please.
So your question is, who is the person for you who has had the most positive influence on you and why?
In what regard? Sum total of my existence and my ability to live in the world, or improvement of like my personhood?
I would say sum total.
My mother, obviously.
And why is that?
She took me from a third world country, put me in a position. I too went to private school, but for like 3 years in the UK before we couldn't afford it anymore. And she struggled so much in every regard and went without. She didn't see me very much growing up because she was working all the time.
Yeah.
And like I lived with my grandparents. She was in London, I was in Cardiff.
Yeah.
She missed out on her entire son's childhood to give them enough money and opportunity to move up in the world quickly, expeditiously. So there's no one else but my mum is the most important part of my life.
Damn.
Apart from my best friend.
Yeah. How, for you and like with your mum and stuff, like, because like with the classic African parent and creatives, how does she feel about you doing stand-up?
She hated it forever. She said it was a waste of my time and it was going to start as a phase and I shouldn't spend my time more wisely writing software side projects or go into finance because that will make me the most money. Yeah. Now, there was the second I got on any television. That was when she flipped.
Really?
Yeah. And now, because she said my little sister's 13. Yeah. And so now she's raising a British kid and re-raising one. Yeah. And she's like, everyone deserves it. When I belittle my own comedy to her because I think that's what she wants to hear. She's like, everyone has a dream. You should be allowed to pursue your dream and all that stuff. She's come around to understand. And she also understands the efficacy of comedy in regulating my mental health. Interesting. If I don't do gigs for too long, Christmas this year was the only exception to that rule, but I was in a weird space. Yeah. But usually, if I don't do comedy for like 3 or 4 days consecutively, I kind of don't really. I'm not in a good place. I need to kill regularly.
Wow, not even just do stand up, but to kill.
I need to kill regularly. Wow. Otherwise, I am not well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mad.
So she gets that now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But if you have to kill regularly.
When I have a bad set, it's not good. I'm difficult to be around.
Do you think, now have you had to deal with that with like your girlfriend and stuff?
She doesn't she's going to have to see the brunt of it now because she lives with me. But usually I isolate. Like if I don't have a good set, I am out of the gig before you can fucking say bye.
Really?
Because I don't want anyone to see what I'm like when I have a bad set.
Is that a bad set or a bad set for you?
Both.
Okay. So what happens? Do you just walk out?
I walk out. I say bye, and I fake a smile as much as I can, and I lose my shit on the way to the next gig if I have one. In fact, if I have another gig, I can usually compartmentalize it quicker because I'm like, all right, I have another go. But if I just had a bad set and that's it, go home, that's it tonight, I'm not well.
Yeah, it's such a tough one because like for me, I'm like, I've been trying for the hardest time because I'm the exact same way. Yeah. I think I was fortunate in that the stage presence came naturally to me.
Yeah, you got a funny quirk.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice. Yeah. But yeah, the stage presence came naturally to me. Not necessarily the writing or the actual comedy, but it's like well, I mean, it was probably more naturally than most people, but like.
So your writing's very good.
Oh, that's very kind. I don't even. I'm younger than you.
Yeah, but I've had 15 years more trauma. Look in my eyes. What do you see? What do you see?
I see rage. I see a fire burning out of control. Yeah, but it's like the stage presence came naturally to me. So it's like, especially starting in Bristol, like doing all open mics and all that stuff. I very much, I felt like I think I was better than average open micers quickly. Yeah. So I got used to doing very well all the time. Yeah. And then I realized that's not always going to be what it's like. And sometimes you're going to do badly. Yeah. And whenever I did badly, I used to hate it so much. And I would do the exact same thing as you. And I'd be like, I'm leaving. I can't see anyone. I can't even tell my girlfriend because it's like, you can't see the side.
Can't tell them.
No, that's the thing.
That's crazy.
It's tough. It's tough because it's like, it's because you get in this cycle where because you're doing so well, like in my 13th gig was supporting Russell Howard in front of 300 people.
That's wild.
That was my 13th gig. And that was the beginning of like the upward trend. Yeah. And it's like that being known as that person and all your friends seeing you doing that in your first year of comedy means that when it's almost like I'm not allowed to do badly.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's the thing you have to constantly deal with. Yeah. Like in the perception of my friends who are not comics, like my medic friends, all of them, they see me as the person who's like, you're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's my thing is trying to be able to be like, no, this is when it sometimes goes bad.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get more okay with that.
But it goes back to what we were saying earlier with the fringe. You have to find the people you can complain to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Complaining is you need it to regulate that.
Yeah. And it's
what
getting
about
better.
your comic friends? Can you complain to them?
I can complain to my comic friends.
Who are your comic friends?
So I have quite an eclectic group of comic friends because I kind of moved around quite a bit. So like I have a lot of friends from Bristol who you might not have heard of, like
I don't know them.
Bert Williamson, Greg.
I know him.
Yeah. So Julia Stenton, she's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Danny Johns, all from Bristol.
She's great.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. And then we've got like a newer group of friends who are in Brighton, like on the open mic scene. Literally only been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
Like
I will not know them.
no, there's no. Yeah, why I won't even embarrass you. And then I've got a couple people in London. Like I've also because of Chortle as well.
Yeah.
I think all the people on that we're all quite close now. So
Where do you live? You live in Bristol?
I live in Brighton.
Brighton.
I live in Brighton.
God damn.
Yeah, but I'd come up here for paid stuff.
That's wild. So
Yeah.
you gig in Brighton and live in Brighton.
Yeah, but it's an interesting setup because I do new stuff in Brighton
Yeah.
and then paid stuff up here.
Yeah.
So it means that like I can. It's kind of nice because in a way it means I'm off the grid. I'm on no one's radar yet.
Yeah.
And it's like being able to be in Brighton, be a nobody, and then come up in London and be like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Yeah.
That's basically the thing that I'm trying to use now. But I've also got like the Chortle people, like Musin Yesalada, got Daniel Petrie, Scotland. Shout out, Ruru.
I don't know what kind of sex thing that was. Just
Yeah.
him pegging you. Like,
Yeah.
let me go.
But yeah, the thing that I'm missing, I think, is a close-knit group of friends that are all close together.
Yeah.
Like, I have lots of comedy friends, but none that all live together.
Yeah, I've never had that. You're not missing out much.
You don't think?
No, not really.
Good.
I mean, no, I don't actually. Yeah, I was like the United States in the Trump years. I was very unilateral in my trade agreements. No bilateral. Fuck the TPP.
Fuck the TPP. Fuck the TPP. Niche political. Are you a politics guy?
Yeah, I'm very.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
British or American?
All of it.
Really? What? What do you say politically? Right, left, center?
I'm a swing voter.
Really?
Yeah.
In the UK?
Yeah, in the UK.
Who'd you vote for last time? You were able to vote, yeah.
Yeah, I last time which one was that one? 2019.
Yeah, so that was the get Brexit done.
I sat out that one.
Yeah, same.
I couldn't vote for Boris because I'm not a retard.
Yes.
And I couldn't vote Jeremy Corbyn because I'm not crazy. And it wasn't even because I thought I agree with a lot of his policies. I just didn't think that they could get done because the country's too polarized to have all the way left politics anymore.
Yeah.
If you want to get stuff done, you have to have Boris level charisma.
Yeah.
You know.
What do
and
you
also it was like leaned against him.
Yeah.
With the papers.
Yeah.
So there's no way you could get policies to get the airtime fairly.
Yeah.
That way you had to slide it in smartly.
Yeah.
Like if I was gonna vote, I would have voted like I couldn't have voted Lib Dem because that one was useless.
Yeah. And they fucked us with tuition fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to vote Liberal Party, but that's like a fucking waste of a vote. And also, I don't like that. I don't like libertarianism because I think it's like it's childlike politics.
It is. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like they'll say 90% of what they say, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, no one should be able to tell you what to do. Harm principle. All that's great. But then you get to a point where it's just like, oh no, we need some rules.
It's nice when those street lamps work, isn't it? It's pretty decent not being in total darkness.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a functioning NHS.
Exactly.
Decent,
like, I don't want to live in a compound in the middle of nowhere with guns and Rottweilers. No, but yeah. What do you think is going to happen with the American election?
I think Biden's going to die. And I think Trump's going to lose to anyone but Biden.
Really?
Yeah, I think I think both of them are the most beatable candidates in American political history. That's
the fascinating thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
both.
I genuinely, I'm so excited to see what happens. To see what happens. It's going to be one of the, it's going to be one of the most like, because like you say, they're both very beatable.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, me too.
It's so tough to call. I'd probably put my money Probably on Biden.
Yeah, it has to be Biden.
Probably on Biden now.
Well, the reason why I'd say Biden is because Trump has no ability to fund his own campaign.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Not anymore.
Yeah, especially after those court
And he's
cases.
going to bleed the RNC dry for whatever will happen. So even if Trump gets in, the entirety of Congress and Senate will be Democratic because they won't be able to run advertisements.
Exactly.
Or any campaign because
They really fucked themselves with the whole abortion thing.
not even that. It's just on a pure. If Trump raids the money of the RNC to pay for his legal cases, which is not that much money. They don't have that much money in the Republican Party.
They don't. No.
If he raids that by installing Laura Trump,
Yeah.
which he will,
Yeah.
and they will,
Yeah.
they can't run adverts for Republican candidates down ballot, and that's the only way to win.
That's fascinating.
So Democrats will sweep every fucking election except for the White House.
It's so shit. It's so shit because
Yeah.
it's just like, I feel like you could just conjure up a candidate that would just so easily win.
But
It's like just no one has the balls to do it.
No.
Have you seen Trump's shoes?
Have you seen what he said? Have you seen what that? There was a Fox News guy that was like, black people actually love Trump because they got shoes and they've also got indictments. That's not me. That's not hyperbole. A guy went on national television
Black people
and
love
said,
Trump.
getting the law fucking him and him having golden sneakers
They're so
will
good.
endear him to black people.
They're so good. They're so
It's
like
unbelievable.
They look like shit. Like someone got a signed copy, like a signed pair of shoes,
Yeah.
and bought them for $9,000.
Of Trump's.
You have Trump's, yeah.
Wait, they're real shoes. They're not like.
No, yeah, no
I thought
real
it was
shoes.
like pre-ordering a video game.
No,
where you just
no.
never get it.
They're real
Jesus Christ.
shoes. They're so bad. They're literally
Yeah.
like high tops that are gold.
Yeah.
And this one guy, Trump signed them. Then he bought them at auction for $9,000. But now on eBay they're going for $30,000.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's one. That's
There you
wonderful.
go.
I love that.
I love that. Tad man, Tadiwe.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for saying my name like a white person that's been to Zimbabwe once.
Tadiwe.
Don't do that. My girlfriend does that.
What?
It's the most unattractive thing in the world to
What?
me.
What does she do?
She says my name the same way my ex does.
What? Tadiwe.
She sits on the D too much.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew. So,
Nah, she's never on top. I execute. I execute.
I mean, your girlfriend must be a cool girl to allow you to say something like that.
She can fucking walk if she. That was the reason I broke up with my ex.
What? Because you said some crazy shit.
Because she was like, I couldn't go all the way.
Interesting.
And if you're gonna limit me,
yeah.
I'm not gonna be less successful because
Because of
I
bitches.
love you. Kind of a relationship is that? I'm gonna resent you for life.
It's good to see you're being more healthy.
Nah,
Man. Honestly,
that's all over.
I could talk to you for hours.
We're
My
gonna
friends-
have a writing session after this.
Yes,
gonna
we
go,
are.
That's gonna go till 10 p.m.
Yeah, we are. So let's fucking do it. It's been an absolute pleasure. Go buy his tour for all those people who watch. I'll be seeing
Follow me on
you.
Instagram at Tad is funny. It's Tad is funny.
And he bloody is. He's got my seal of approval. Bye bye.
Thank you. Greatest Zimbabwean comedian of all time.